boys. We'll have the stream up here soon. I'm good. I was just trying to get myself together here a little bit. Coming off, it's graduation week at my house. Not just for my senior, but also my 8th grader going into high school. So there's been a lot going on. Going back and forth with just, going to churches and brunches and lunches and all that good stuff. And then last night, my family came into town. Add the other element to it. Brother, wife, niece, her husband, newborn baby. So, yeah, just trying to keep it all together this week. Just trying to keep
a lot.
Hey, it doesn't sound like it, right? But I'm just trying to keep it all together this week. Do what I'm supposed to do, say what I'm supposed to say, and be where I'm supposed to be. That's the goal. Stay out of the crosshairs.
Get those dinners paid for.
That's it. That's it. Do it. That's it. Just say yes. It's
like what you tell your kid: be seen but not heard.
That's it. That's it. Yes, I am just seen right now. Don't. There's a lot of stresses running around the house.
And you don't want to add to it. I love that.
And here's the deal: it doesn't stop because tonight we've got practice and we got a game as well. 14-year-old practice, 10-year-old game that we'll be shuffling back and forth to. Tomorrow, headed to Kansas City after the show because we got games in Kansas City this weekend. 2 on Saturday. We're going to go down tomorrow and go check out the Royals game and hang out. And then Saturday we have 2 games. Sunday morning, get up at like 7. That's good. I get up at like 6, head back by 7 from Kansas City, get back by 10, hopefully, 10:30. Graduation starts at 1:30 downtown.
Oh, perfect timing.
Right? I'm good. So, yeah. That's how it goes. Coming up, we're going to talk a little NFL. Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, isn't life better whenever it's busier than boring?
Oh, yeah. I am.
You get those boring weeks, and you're like, you know what? Those busy weeks aren't so bad after all.
No.
Because sometimes you have those crazy busy weeks, and you're like, man, I wish I just had a little time to myself.
Little time.
And then you get some time to yourself, and after an hour, I'm going crazy. I'm like, you know what? Actually, I'd rather be at work right now.
Like, I don't want the time.
Yeah.
I want to be doing something. I'm also the one that sits on the couch most nights, and not most nights. If we're hanging out watching a TV show or something, and if there's a break in the action, I'm up doing something.
Yeah.
I can't just sit there. Especially when this watch I got tells you you've been sitting too long. Time to stand up. I'm like, okay, I'll get up.
That's why I stopped wearing my Apple Watch.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here doing a radio show. It's like, you've been sitting for a while. Time to stand up. And I'm like,
duh.
I'm in the middle of a segment here. Not much I can do. Apple
just
Watch.
get up and just start doing some jumping jack and just see what happens.
I'm not going to do that.
I'm not going to exercise.
I'm too out of shape for
Why would I do that?
I'd sit back down at the mic out of breath.
Why would I do that? We're going to talk to NFL coming up, NBA playoffs. Jump in a little Major League Baseball story. I know they talked about it yesterday. We talked Pete Rose, Shoeless Joe Jackson, all that, where your stance is. Get a little opinions on that. Coach Jody. I don't know if we're going to have Coach Jody today. Moach brought up a great point because they have an 11:05 start.
Yeah.
Now, if he calls, watch out. We'll get real quick with him. That'd be impressive if he called from the dugout. Maybe he can give us the put on speaker. We can give them the pep talk today. They did get a win last night, finally.
Good. They
finally got off the old schneid there.
It was a tough one. They put up 12 runs last night, which is always good whenever the offense kind of explodes like that. Do have a minor injury concern with former Husker Cam Wynn.
Oh.
Yesterday, he, with 1 out in the bottom of the first, had to step off the mound and was rubbing the inside of his elbow and was pulled from the game.
That's never any good.
That's never any good.
No, those stink.
Tough. Well, that's the guy we talked about last week with Brett Jody. Salt Dogs kind of need the help in the pitching staff right now, and he was pulled from last night's game after just 1 out. Perfect ERA though, ERA of 0.00.
Well, I just said that earlier. He did mention the fact that he was the one that was worried about the pitching a little bit, and being the pitching guy, manager / pitching guy, a little worried. And we've seen some of that in the first few games. But if he calls, if not, we'll talk about Salt Dogs in the second hour.
Salt Dogs have been producing most of the games. They have a chance at a series win, which after the opening weekend and what happened on Tuesday night, it's a good feeling to have.
Yeah, absolutely.
A chance to go for a series win at 11 o'clock.
And then get home. Get home, because they'll be tomorrow night, the first Friday night at home. Fireworks Friday tomorrow night.
got Winnipeg coming to town, which Winnipeg started their season on the road. They've been kind of hitting the Midwest swing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Sioux City. Now they're in Kansas City, and then Lincoln. I think they finally go back home because crossing that border in a team bus is a real pain from what I've heard.
I bet.
With all the bags,
all
the duffel bags you keep underneath the bus. Yeah, the Border Patrol doesn't quite like that.
We'll go back and talk. We talked with Coach Jody about that last year, about what it was like to get all the affairs in order to cross the border. So we'll see. If he does, call me around 10:10 today. We'll also talk a little PGA Championships. They're on the golf course right now. There's an electric group. I don't know if they talked about it yesterday, but the group I was watching this morning, the PGA knows what they're doing, and especially in the majors when they do this on the golf course right now. I mean, there's a lot of great groups. How about number 1, number 2, and number 3 in the same group? Scheffler, McIlroy, Schauffele. What a great group. If you're out in Charlotte today and you're out watching, what a great group to go watch.
And I've been watching a video series this week, YouTube Golf Classic. I am watching the guys go out and play Quail Hollow. They got a chance a couple weeks ago to go play Quail Hollow, and it's to see that course on TV is one thing. To see it from the tee box, holy cow, this course looks impossible. Some of the slopes that they have on the fairways where you're trying to bend it around some trees, but the slope is also back into the trees where you have to hit a perfect tee shot. And if you don't hit a perfect tee shot, kind of it's Augusta-esque, which is maybe a wild thing to say. They use the same sand from the bunkers at Augusta at Quail Hollow.
Yep.
And
bunkers are different there, by the way, too. You will see a lot of really, really good bunker shots because the way they're shaped, they don't stick up on the lips. They don't run high up, and they come all the way back to the middle. Mm-hmm. We've seen some this morning if you were watching. Yeah. Kind of a fun storyline developing right now in the first round. A couple Ryder Cup captains right now tied for the lead. Luke Donald, 3 under. Keegan Bradley, 3 under. Keegan Bradley is an interesting one right now because he's a Ryder Cup captain. He's trying to play his way onto the team. He wants to be an auto qualifier to be a captain player captain. How about that? That'd be a great story. So we'll keep you updated on that. And then, we'll update you on the live guys that are out there playing right now. John Rahm off to a good start, 200 through 6. He's not played well. He's off to a good start. Yeah, it's fun.
Rory's had success at this course in the past as well.
A lot of success. If you look at his numbers there, I mean, he was the favorite coming in.
He has the course record there among competitive tournaments. He shot something ridiculous, a 61 or a 62 or something crazy like that at a very, very difficult golf course.
That group right now, that threesome right there, they're through 5. They're all even par through 5. All even par through 5. Somebody, let's see who's got the biggest score so far. Who's not having any fun right now?
Let's get the guesses in. Who do you think's near the bottom? I don't even know who's teed off yet today. So
this poor guy.
I'm sure when I jump in.
Bobby Gates.
Never heard of him.
He's double par boogie 5 under 5 over through his first 5 holes. That's like a round for me. Perfect. Boy, the NFL schedule release last night. A lot of notable stuff going on in this as you start to look at it. And then you're going to start seeing win totals. And I've got Super Bowl odds already out there after you look at this. Eagles will host the Cowboys in the NFL opener. How about that little divisional showdown? Get that thing started right for you. Week 2, nice little Super Bowl rematch. Get you started. Week 2. Boy, the NFL is trying to take over the holidays, aren't they? Thanksgiving and Christmas triple headers. And the games they're going to put on there are pretty fun. When you talk about Thanksgiving Day, Packers at Lions. Poof. How about the Chiefs? They have to head to Dallas.
They have both holiday games.
Yes.
They're on Thanksgiving and Christmas. If you're a Chiefs player, wave goodbye to your family.
Yeah, see
Apologies this year.
My gosh. But Thanksgiving days, I think, boy, and then you nightcap that thing with Bengals headed to Baltimore. My gosh. Really good. Then Christmas Day, taking the NBA head on, by the way, on Christmas Day, when you get the Cowboys, Commanders, Lions will travel to Minnesota, and then those Broncos head to Kansas City, where Elijah should be on Christmas Day.
Well, the night of Christmas Day,
yes.
Which means I realistically could spend Christmas morning with my family and make it down to Kansas City.
Santa will come early that day for you.
I am circling, though. I live with 2 Packers fans, unfortunately. And the Packers are playing in Denver this year, and it's going to be in December.
Mhm.
December, I think 12th, which means it won't conflict with a Husker football game, which means I might actually try to make it out to Denver for a Packers-Broncos game, because it's rare to have a Broncos game that I'm able to make it to with just the Husker football schedule, all the time I spend covering that. I don't usually get to make it out to Denver, but mid-December, that is like the perfect time for me to make it out.
Mhm.
And if weather gets cold in Denver, maybe you can find some tickets for all right. The Packers seats, like anytime you go to a Packers game, tickets are always marked up a little bit because Packers fans, they're everywhere.
They're everywhere.
So they're always going to away games and whatnot. So always bumps up ticket prices. But if I can find tickets for a reasonable price, you might catch me in Denver in mid-December for the Broncos-Packers game, especially because late in the season, this could be two teams that are, at least based on what I think right now, playing pretty well. I think this could be two playoff teams come mid-December. So we'll see. The NFL released their list, NFL.com, I should say, not the NFL. They released their list of the top 10 primetime games of the year.
Ooh, let's hear these.
Okay, number 1, this is the first Sunday Night Football game of the year. Sunday, September 7th, we've got the Ravens at the Bills Sunday Night Football.
Oh, boy.
They're kicking off Sunday Night Football with a bang this year.
Get to hear Carrie Underwood and watch that game.
MVP
Boom.
against MVP, Lamar Jackson versus Josh Allen. That's a fun one to open the season. In mid-November, we have their second best Sunday Night Football game of the year. That's the Detroit Lions at the Philadelphia Eagles, Sunday, November 16th. That's a fun one.
Yep.
Number 3, Monday Night Football. Late October, we have the Commanders going to Kansas City taking on the Chiefs.
Ooh.
Monday night. That'll be a good one.
Commanders are going to be an interesting case this year.
At number 4, this is a bold choice here. They have the Chargers in Vegas taking on the Raiders. They say because of the Harbaugh-Pete Carroll rivalry that this will be a fun Monday Night Football game. Maybe.
Question mark.
It's an early season one, too. It's week 2 whenever they do the Monday night doubleheader. So this will be the late Monday night game on Monday, September 15th. At number 5, we'll try the top 5 here. Another interesting one, but I think the Bears could be better. They have the Bears at the Commanders Monday Night Football early October, week 6.
Okay, that could be.
So that's your top 5 NFL primetime games of the year. There's some good ones throughout the Eagles Eagles at Packers Monday Night Football game this year. Bengals at Broncos a Monday Night Football game this year. Cowboys at Eagles they have as a Thursday Night Football game this year. That opens up the NFL season. So that's why you put it in there. I'm not sure how the Cowboys will be, but to open the season on a Thursday night, Cowboys at Eagles, that's a fun one. So those are some of the top primetime football games this year, according to NFL.com.
Also, you look at the breakdown of most primetime games. There's a list out there of who got the most primetime games. I think when they drive primetime games, one, they're driving the ratings, number 1. 2, I think they're driving narratives. When you look at this, if you look at the list, there's only 2 teams, by the way, not playing a primetime game this year. Titans, Browns, and the Saints. Sorry, 3 teams. Titans, Browns, Saints.
Yeah, no. I don't care to see the Saints in primetime.
Nope.
The Broncos were on that list last year as a team that didn't have a primetime game. They had 2 games get flexed into primetime late in the season. So you can still get those flex scheduling.
Get them into there. Based
on, end up surprising.
Yes. Right now, leading the way, Chiefs got 7 primetime games. Still pushing the narrative, right, with the Chiefs. Do you still call them America's team? Cowboys got 6.
They're still America's team, unfortunately.
And then you look at the list of 5. There's a whole grouping of 5. Bills, Dolphins, Chargers, Eagles, Commanders, Lions, Falcons, 49ers on that list. Your Broncos get 4.
Better than 0.
The way it's at now, 4. Like I said, they could flex into some games.
They have 2 Sunday night games, 1 Monday night game, 1 Thursday night game, which does Thursday night football really count as prime time? For the Broncos, their 1 Thursday night game does because it's Christmas Day. That still counts as a Thursday night game. But Thursday night football just sucks.
See, I looked at that. So I go to that because I think the strength of schedules as a whole, it's like when you look at a division of teams, right? I think the bottom side of divisions or conferences make the division better, right? At the bottom, because sometimes it's very top heavy. I go right to Thursday night football and see how strong the brand is for Thursday night. I mean, for the NFL. And so they rank those. It's a 14 game slate. Here's their They kind of rank their top 5.
I'm
Or
anti Thursday
top-
night football.
I am
But
too.
let me hear the matchups first.
But I can shop at the same time. It's kidding. Right? Split screen, Amazon, all that stuff. They rank their top 4, all of them. Let's go 5 down. How about that? What's funny is how far they got to go to rank their top 5. Week 14.
Oh man.
Cowboys at Lions Thursday night.
That's a good Thursday night game though.
Yep. I think this is a funny one. Number 4, Falcons at Tampa Bay at the Bucks. Week 15, by the way. Okay. Number 3, this will happen in week 5. Niners Rams.
Okay.
Division. Yeah.
I'll watch
Probably
that.
early in the season. Number 2. This will be in week 2. Number 2 in week 2. Commanders headed to Green Bay on a Thursday night.
Sure. I'll watch that.
Yeah, that'd be one I watch. Number 1. This is what they got ranked number 1. Minnesota, this week 8. Minnesota at Chargers.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see that being a good game. There'll be a lot of offense. Kevin O'Connell always has offense for the Vikings.
Yep.
We'll see how J.J. McCarthy's doing at that point in the year. But then it's Justin Herbert on the other side. It should be a fun offensive football game, I think.
They do have your Broncos listed. I'm just skimming through it at number 8 in week 10 as the Raiders will head to Denver.
That's a Thursday night game?
That's a Thursday night game in week 10.
Well, I guess I have to watch that, unfortunately. Usually Thursday night football for me, it's like a 50% hit rate, whether I even turn the game on or not. I'm big on Thursday night football. Usually how it goes for me, and fall's busy for me, so maybe I'm the exception here. But like, there's a lot of things I want to get done during the week, and I can't just sit in front of my TV and watch football all the time as much as I'd like to. I'm usually check the score at halftime, and if the game looks good, I'll flip on the second half.
Yeah,
I can the first half of Thursday night football is usually
you're just walking
slow.
around. You're just doing stuff. You're just walking around doing stuff, whatever, and it's like, oh, look, it's kind of a good game.
Yeah. Usually I'm leaving work. We got some sort of Thursday night high school football game on the airwaves here. So I'll produce that and then I'll go home, make myself dinner. And okay, it's midway through the third quarter or start of the fourth quarter. What's going on?
Yeah.
Should I flip that game on?
The bottom 2 games they rate, by the way, it's interesting. There's one team in both of these, which will lead you what kind of year they're going to have. At 13, Dolphins at Bills was their 13th ranked game, and the Ravens at Dolphins. A lot of question marks with the Dolphins.
Are the Jets on Thursday night football this year? I feel like whenever the Jets play on Thursday night football, it's always the grossest game I've ever seen.
Oh, this will be a gross one, by the way. Yes, they are. Week 11. Comes in at number 11. Jets at Patriots.
Yep, there it is. That's Thursday night football, baby.
Thursday night football in a nutshell. Right there. Yuck. Number 11.
That's week 11.
Week 11.
So one team's going to be 4-7. One team's going to
That is yucky.
5-6, maybe if they're lucky. It could be a battle of 4-7 against 4-7 in that one.
That'll be one that will target doing something else. Yeah.
I'll watch a movie that Thursday night or something.
So now you can look at your favorite teams.
Well, especially once you get into week 11, because by the time week 11 of the season rolls around, that's early December. So we're talking late November.
Yeah.
It's like usually by the time we're getting to the end of the college football season, and now I'm worn out from. All right, you got your Friday night college football game, you got your Saturday full day of football, Sunday full day of football, Monday football, Tuesday you get off, Wednesday night I'm watching Maction. Like we got the Mac.
Oh yeah, baby.
On Wednesday night I'm watching that. By the time Thursday rolls around, I'm like, all right, I got Tuesday off. I need a day off from football.
Yeah, week
here.
11 will be that.
Yeah,
perfect time.
Jets at Patriots. Yeah, I don't care. To watch it.
I don't care to watch Justin Fields and Drake May go at it
until I end up having like 2 guys from the Patriots on my fantasy team, and now I got to lock in because I'm right on the line of the postseason for fantasy. Now I'm watching some gross football game just because I'm rooting for some random guy I picked up on the waiver wires.
After schedules come out, odds for the Super Bowl come out, and it's a clear cut like 5 teams they've got out there. There's a separation from the odds perspective. Eagles number 1. And you got 3 other teams tied at the second spot. Ravens. Sorry.
I can guess.
Go ahead. So Eagles top.
Top. Tied in second's got to be Chiefs, Bills, Ravens.
Yes.
Yeah.
5-hole.
5-hole Lions?
Yep. I'll give you the guess. That's the breaking point. Who's just sitting outside? They have double the odds. If you can get the Lions at plus 800 right now.
Plus 1,600, we'll go Packers.
They're plus 2,000.
Okay, I'm trying to think. It's
close.
such a top heavy with the AFC. I'm thinking it's got to be an NFC team.
Okay, you're getting there. You are there. No, the next three of the next four are NFC teams.
Vikings?
No, they're plus 3,100.
Okay, I was going to say with a young quarterback.
Yep, they're further down. You think young quarterback because you are there.
Lions, young quarterback. Oh, Washington.
You nailed it. Washington plus 1,600. San Francisco coming off at plus 1,700. Then you got the Bengals plus 1,900. Then the Packers sitting there at 2,000, plus 2,000. That's your top 10.
I did pretty well there.
You did pretty well. You had the idea of NFC because it's so top heavy on that side.
Even though Washington's better, I still forget about that football team. So my apologies out there to all Washington fans. I miss whenever they were the Washington football team. Commanders still doesn't sit right with me. I hated Washington football team when it first came out. And I think I've stood on the soapbox before on this show. Washington football team, they came out with it. I'm like, oh, that's so fitting for Washington. Like, what a garbage name. They could even think of a mascot name. And they came out with the Commanders. And I was like, Washington football team actually kind of grew on me. No mascot. It was kind of fun.
Yeah.
It was different. That's what I liked about it.
It's like being just the A's.
Exactly.
A's.
It grows on you.
It's like my kid. My kid's name is Ty. 14 years old. They all want to say Tyler. Ty. Nope. Ty. That's it. 2 letters. Good morning, Ryan 840. Ryan, he says, feel bad for Cam Ward going to Mile High, beat down week 1. Also says Browns, Bengals, week 4, Monday Night Football. Sorry, Broncos, not Broncos.
That'll be fun. Remember that Monday night game last year?
Mm-hmm.
We had the Joe Burrow, Bo Nix shootout of sorts. Neither team could get a stop at the end, and the Bengals ended up winning that one. That may have been Thursday night, actually.
That might have been Thursday night. I feel like that's maybe Thursday.
Yeah, that was a game that flexed into Thursday night because the Broncos played the Browns on Monday night. There it is. That was also a very fun game. Broncos played a lot of fun games last year, and I think that's why they're getting some primetime matches.
Absolutely. So, all right, good stuff. More from the NFL as we get through the week and as we progress closer. We'll have some fun coming up because probably the next day or two, they're going to put out season win totals and all that stuff. We'll make predictions, division winners, playoffs, Super Bowl, all that good stuff as we progress down through the week. So let's take a break and come back. NBA playoffs have kept moving and they kept delivering. Have we seen the end of an era of one team? We might have last night. So let's take a break and come back and talk about the NBA.
I got a carpet shot.
Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I was dragging this morning. My brother and his family got in town at like 9 o'clock last night. They flew into Kansas City and drove up. And it's still I still have a 11-year-old that's got to go to school. So we got that done. Got them home about 10. They're staying with us, but half of them are staying with us. My brother's a talker. I finally at 12:45 this morning said I got to go to bed.
How long are they in town for?
They leave Tuesday morning.
Okay, that's not.
It's
because with family there is a point of diminishing returns where it's like, oh, it's so great to see you, and then you hit like a couple days and you're like, but I kind of want to get back to the normalcy of life. Like,
yeah, and I don't get a chance to see them a lot because they're out in Charlotte and obviously life and busy and kids, and it's just hard to get back. Yeah. Right. So it's great.
But after like, what's the point? I'd say by the end of the 4th day, you get like the 5th day with family, and you're like, okay, I want to get back to the normalcy of my life here. There is a sweet spot for seeing family.
Oh, absolutely. And I think it's both sides too. It's them as well. They're displaced. We're just,
yeah, exactly.
Exactly. It's cool though. My niece and her husband are here. They have a newborn. So to see my mom's a great grandma. So that's pretty cool.
That's really cool. And I assume you mean by like lineage, not like she's just a great grandma.
No, lineage. Lineage. She is that. She is both. She is both. This is all different now. Oh, there you go. All right, I got the comments up.
Yeah. The software company, they threw us a curveball yesterday. Trying to log in yesterday afternoon. It's like, you're logged in on too many different sessions. You must log out of 7 different sessions to get back in the streamer. I'm like, what?
Come on.
This has never been a part of our plan.
Right. I'm sure it's awful conditions for brother in the Hooksy Palace. Talk to my kids. We've had to rotate rooms a little bit this week to accommodate.
The first quick. I was we're already past 9:30. That's a quick first segment.
Was those productive?
Yeah. Coming back here though.
Okay.
What you gonna do with all that junk inside your trunk?
I'ma get you drunk, get you love drunk off my hump, my hump, my hump, my hump, my hump, my hump.
Welcome back in the morning hookup. Happy Thursday. Hope your Thursday's off to a great start. Be careful out there. We're experiencing something we haven't experienced in like a week. The wind. And when it came back quick. Gusting, 25 to 35 today, gusting to 40. Now we're back.
I'm just glad we had a storm system roll north of us last night. I'm glad it stayed away from us.
That thing looked low. Had some teeth in it.
It's also great. We mentioned the Salt Dogs earlier in the broadcast. We might have manager Brett Jody with us here in the second hour as 11:05 first pitch makes it a little bit
tough.
We'll see. But it's nice to see we got that game in complete before the storm system
just
came
in
through.
time. They needed it. 12-4. Coach Jody was probably looking up and going, Mother Nature, can you stay away? We need one of these.
Yeah.
We don't need it right now. We need to get at least to the 5th. Just give me complete.
Every summer with my work for the Salt Dogs, I feel like I am locked in on weather across the Midwest. Just like, the Salt Dogs are in Sioux Falls tonight. I guess we better be locked in on the weather through South Dakota the next 3 days. Keeps my mind racing a little bit.
I bet.
Rainouts make things difficult.
Oh.
So we're hoping for a minimum rain with the Salt Dog season this year.
Channel your inner Jeff Moats a little bit.
Yeah. You got to be locked in on that weather. You're like, I'm looking at the severe weather outlook. 3 days out, 10 days out. What's going on? Oh, severe weather threatened Lincoln for this day. The Salt Dogs. Oh, they're on the road. Thank goodness. Like, oof.
Perfect. NBA playoffs, man. We'll go back a day or so because we missed series coming to an end, which is, boy, I tell you what, Pacers playing well, man. So you Cavs beat up, not playing well. Pacers advanced 114-105 the other night. The nightcap of that, boy, Elijah, the Thunder came roaring back in that game, 112-105 in that fourth quarter, which was 34-19. We're at the point now where it's just Jokic is the best player out there. No doubt about it. Best player out there. Thunder are the better team. I think that, right?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Now, I'm not saying the series is over because they got another game coming up. But you see these games, and Jokic is just giving you everything. I mean, the other night, 44, 15, and 5. I mean, we're seeing a guy play like we've never seen play before. You have no words, do you?
I'm very nervous about tonight. That's the main thing I'm feeling here. It's back home.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is it's back-to-back games now where the Nuggets have their legs have run out in the fourth quarter. They've been looking tired. And that's the advantage that the Thunder have. You talk about the better team. They have about 8 trusted guys, maybe 9.
Mm-hmm.
The Nuggets have 6, maybe 7.
Pause.
I threw the maybe in there for you.
I like that.
Yeah, 6, maybe
I
7.
didn't even catch it.
I knew it was coming, so I made sure to get it out in front.
It'll
of it.
get oldish, sort of. I promise.
It already has. So the Nuggets playing. Murray's been playing 40+ minutes a game. Jokic's been playing 40+ minutes a game. Aaron Gordon's been like right at 40 through this entire series. They've been playing on tired legs in the fourth quarter, and they've blown 2 fourth quarter leads now. That's my concern. Now you're back at altitude, which advantage Nuggets because they've played at altitude all year long. The Thunder, they're going to have to catch their wind at altitude, so it kind of levels things out. Nuggets could absolutely win tonight, but they've been fading down the stretch in the last 2 games, and that's why I get nervous with this series because quarters 1 through 3, it's been honestly the Nuggets have been outplaying the Thunder for most of the series. Fourth quarter rolls around, and Nuggets are on tired legs. Thunder go to Shea. I mean, Shea was fantastic down the stretch on Tuesday night.
Yeah, 31 Tuesday night.
We'll see what happens. It's nervous hours for me though. Looking ahead to this one.
Last night, the Celtics inspired basketball last night. Obviously, I think that's the reaction, losing a star, right? It's a star. White really good last night, 34. They shot the three so well last night, which they've done. That's their MO, and they get it done 127-102 last night. There's a lot of emotions in that game last night as well. They stepped up. Apparently, Jason Tatum gave the inspirational speech before.
Mm-hmm.
Can they carry that? Will be the question.
It'll be tough.
Yeah, I'll let Caleb speak on this one.
But that's an emotional response last night. What you got being at home, you're without your star. Everybody stepped up in that.
Yeah,
and they won. I mean, the third quarter is where it was over. If you look at the third quarter, 32-17 third quarter.
Are the Celtics better without Jason Tatum?
Oh my God! Woo!
Here we go.
Question asked. Shots fired.
But yeah, when you say everybody stepped up, I mean everybody stepped up. Luke Cornett.
Who?
What a game!
Oh, he had 7 blocks last night. I didn't know who he was last night.
He was everywhere. Unfortunately, I didn't get to watch.
I took a peek at it for a while, and I'm like, whoa, Cornett. The only Cornett I know was Jim Cornette.
What were you doing last night that you couldn't watch the game? Was it baseball or
baseball practice?
Yeah.
So there's nothing worse than that feeling. Maybe nothing worse. I'm being a little dramatic here, but that feeling of whenever you know your favorite team is playing in an important game and you can't watch it, and you're like, I wish I could even check the score. I can't even check the score right now.
Yeah.
And then that nervousness, that first time, you get out of practice, all right, let's check the score. For me, it's on the baseball diamond. There was a game that went extra innings. I was umping in a couple years ago, and it was while the Avs were making their Stanley Cup playoff run. And I'm on the baseball diamond. The game goes extra innings. It was at Haymarket Park, actually. It's a great game. That might clue you into who I was umping for. But so I'm standing out there trying to enjoy that moment. But it was 101 degrees in the middle of July, or middle of June, I should say. And my Avs are playing, and it was I want to get off this field, but at the same time, I want to give these kids a good umping performance. I'm not going to start opening the zone and making up outs and whatnot. And then
making them make up outs.
Oh, I ran to our locker room at the end of that game. I'm like, I need to know the score. My phone's back in the locker room.
There's nights like that where I take my watch off. Something like that's happening because I don't want the alerts to keep buzzing my watch.
It's nice.
Or I silence them.
Yeah. It's always just sitting in the back of your mind. I wonder what's going on right now.
Last thing I'll say about this series is Kristaps Porzingis.
What is happening? He started the game, and then did he play in the second half?
No.
He didn't start the second half.
He came out in the third quarter because he couldn't breathe.
Something ain't right.
I've heard reports of maybe a long COVID. That's one. Some people are saying AIDS. I don't know.
Oh, gosh.
There's a lot of rumors out there. What's going on with Kristaps?
They're all running rampant now.
I wasn't going to say it.
Yeah, you've seen that.
I saw those too. Yeah, I saw.
Oh, my God.
The big thing is, you remember that play back in round 1? Yeah. Where Kristaps got cut on the forehead.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And Missoula said it's good to see him bleed. Makes me think not AIDS.
that would probably eliminate it.
Yeah.
I would hope not.
You think that'd be a much bigger deal than it was. But long COVID could make sense. A guy that was having issues with his lungs, never came back quite the same from a bout with COVID. I don't know. It's possible.
Nightcap last night. T-Wolves eliminate the Warriors. 121-110. Anthony Edwards, another good night, but not the
Julius
Randle last night. Edwards 22 and 12, by the way, and that's not 12 minutes. That's 12 assists. Randle last night 29, 8 and 5, 13 of 18 from the field.
Also, one of my favorite highlights of the postseason thus far: Julius Randle midway through the third quarter hit a logo 3, and I think it put the T-Wolves up by 9 at that point. And then so they have Julius Randle celebrating in the backcourt. He's getting back on defense, and it cut to Steph Curry's face. He has this look of disbelief, shaking his head. Julius Randle just hit a logo.
He's the guy. Yeah. That's the one that's going to beat us.
So,
they advance.
It's a shame we didn't get to see Steph throughout that series.
Yeah,
that series changes if Steph plays. The Thunder aren't the same, the Warriors aren't the same.
They're not, and that's what we talked about. Once he went out,
you hope for the best because they took game 1 without him, but they just never had an answer for the T-Wolves after that. They couldn't keep up.
Missing a leader like that. I mean, a superstar that can shoot it, keeps you in games, changes the offense. And the question was, would Butler be able to step up with Draymond Green? And it just wasn't enough. Wasn't enough. Butler last night, pedestrian, 4 of 11. Green, 4 of 11. Buddy Hill, by the way, 2 of 9. They weren't very good. So question being is, what is next for those Warriors coming up? That'll be an interesting case.
I think it's also interesting. No matter what, if it's the Thunder or if it's the Nuggets, it makes a pretty compelling Western Conference Finals.
Mm-hmm.
I was just going to ask you that. If your Nuggets do make it past OKC, how are you feeling with the series versus Minnesota?
The T-Wolves scare me more than any team in the postseason.
Yeah.
They scare me more than Oklahoma City.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm currently watching my Nuggets locked in a battle with OKC. Anthony Edwards,
That's a
for
team
some reason, the Nuggets cannot stop him anytime they play him. It feels like he goes off for 30-plus points a night every single time he plays the Nuggets. They can't slow him down.
Yeah,
and,
you and I
and
talked
Rudy
about
Gobert plays good defense on Jokic.
You and I talked about it. They like Anthony Edwards is that star that just takes over. And that team doesn't know enough about enough yet.
I don't think he personally knows.
They
enough.
just go. They just play the game at a level, no matter what the situation, what day of the week, they just play. Nope. It's almost even when they lose games, if you watch Minnesota throughout the playoffs, when they lose, like they lost game 1, it was like it didn't matter. It mattered, but it's like, all right, we'll go back. We're good. Right? They're playing with that chip on that shoulder, too. And that started in the first series against LA. That whole mantra, supposed to lose in 5, LA in 5, LA in 5. They just play that.
How about
no fear.
How about the veteran Mike Conley last night? 16, 6, and 8 in only 27 minutes.
Woo! That's a plus number.
Like you said, they go out there and play.
Again, tonight, the Nuggets will try to stay alive. It's a 4.5. They get 4.5 tonight.
They're the more motivated team, and they're playing at altitude.
I would take the. I would play. I'd be on Denver tonight. I think Denver it's a frantic approach tonight, right? I'd be on Denver tonight.
They're underdogs.
Yep.
Oof.
I'd take them. I'd play those points.
Yeah, give me the 4.5.
Yeah. What are you going?
I think the Nuggets win 4.5 slot of points.
I think that's the fan in you talking.
I'm nervous just based on the way the Nuggets, their legs have gone in the last 2 fourth quarters, and it's just another one day rest. I'm very nervous about this one. They'll need someone beside me in game 5. The only person who scored a single bucket besides Jokic in the fourth quarter was Jamal Murray, and he did it with 16 seconds left when the Thunder already put it out of reach. Like Jokic carried that team in the fourth quarter, and nobody else could make a shot. I'd like to think that somebody else will be able to make a shot tonight, but will the Nuggets have enough? We'll see.
Okay. Tonight we'll watch. Tomorrow we'll talk about it. Let's take a break. Speaking of talking about something, let's come back talk a little Major League Baseball, not stats, standings, and all that. Big decision was made and taking a couple of guys off an ineligible list. Get your thoughts about that and a whole lot more when we return. All right. Going to be interesting stuff. A topic coming up is so debatable.
What do you mean? Which topic?
Which one we're going to talk about coming up?
Okay. I don't know if you're talking the Nuggets and the Thunder. I was like, debatable.
No, you're doing what the Nuggets fans are doing. You're just cautiously treading water right now.
The Nuggets have the best player in the NBA. Shea's going to win MVP, but the Nuggets have the best player in the NBA.
Yeah.
You never want
You're
to
just constantly treading by saying, "Oh."
You never want to bet against that guy.
No.
That being said, it's a team sport.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if
That's
everyone
right.
else can't perform around Jokic, which I worry about with the legs, I don't know.
Isn't it crazy with Jokic that I don't want to jinx it, but how many bad nights does that guy have in a season?
Not many.
You can count them on one hand.
It's incredible. And I'm not talking about just this year. I'm talking about like multiple years.
It's because he's got the fundamentals.
It's crazy.
The fundamentals never fail you.
You know, no big deal. Put up 40-something a night, 15 boards.
He'll have a big one tonight, I think.
Triple.
Coming back here.
Triple-double tonight. Welcome back in the Morning Hookup. Is this like an ode to Hugh Malone saying thank you for hanging out yesterday?
It's not, but it could be.
It could be. If he's listening to you, I appreciate you. It's like an ode to him. Hey, thank you. Music for you. I'm sure I didn't listen yesterday. I haven't had a chance to go back, but I'm sure this Major League Baseball deal with the two guys, Pete Rose and Shoeless Joe Jackson, being taken off the ineligible list yesterday, or whenever it was a hot topic with him being a baseball. Oh, where'd that go?
Yeah.
Timeout.
Oh, it ended after 43 seconds.
That's all we got.
Well,
you get 43 seconds.
Hard cut.
Yeah, that thing cut hard. I thought we had a little more time with it. Okay.
Boy, Manfred took Shoeless Joe Jackson, Pete Rose, permanently have been taken off the ineligible list. Long time coming, probably. Next up, Hall of Fame question mark. Should they or should they not be? That's a debatable question. A lot of your peers are saying, no, man. Pete did what he did. He jeopardized the entire integrity of the, Major League Baseball, the game. That is it's almost like what he did was like the ultimate sin in pro sports. Betting on the game, possibly question mark betting on your own team or against your own team. Pure stat wise, the guy's in. You're debating. You're in the middle of this, aren't you?
We're both over here like, I don't know.
Okay. If it was
36 years.
If it was just the gambling for Pete Rose, I'd be like, okay. There's also some statutory rape allegations in there while he was a player. Apparently had relationship with a girl who was 14 and later 15. It was a prolonged relationship. His defense, well, he first denied it. And then he said, well, I thought she was 16, which was the age of consent at the time in Ohio, which is rough. He has always dodged questions since then. They reached a settlement outside of court and a verdict was never reached. So that's an interesting one. The gambling, I can say, you know what? If he put up those numbers while point shaving, hats off to him. Like he's maybe even better than we thought. And if he wasn't point shaving, if he was just betting on himself, you go, oh, okay, it's not that bad. But you combine the two, and I'm like, Shoeless Joe Jackson, I'm behind that one.
Yeah,
a lot of the stories that you read,
that he would
push
the money off all the time.
Would indicate that he was aware his teammates were doing it, but he himself was not participating.
Well, stat wise in that series, he was still really good.
Yeah. What is the book? We had to read the book back in college. 8 Men Out. There it is. 8 Men Out. The Black Sox in the 1919 World Series. You read into that, and it's pretty debatable whether or not he was a part of it. And it would seem the evidence would show more than likely that he was approached, said no, but most of his teammates didn't say no. They took the cash, and
there's a slew of them that they put back in.
He played up to his level, but his teammates didn't. He was aware, but he didn't report it, which is also saying something. But it's your teammates. Like, I am much more down with Shoeless Joe Jackson being able to get into the Hall of Fame.
It'll be interesting how this goes. Obviously, there's now that he's on the off the ineligible list. It ultimately comes down to different levels here. Hall of Fame Historical Committee. There's got to be an approval, a nomination process. The Baseball Hall of Fame says National Baseball Hall of Fame has always maintained that anyone from the baseball permanently ineligible list will become eligible for Hall of Fame consideration. Major League Baseball's decision to remove deceased individuals from the permanently ineligible list will allow the Hall of Fame candidacy of such individuals to now be considered. The Oversight Committee will develop the ballot of 8 names for the Classic Baseball Era Committee, which evaluates candidates who made their greatest impact in the game prior to 1980 to vote on when it meets in December of 2027.
Now comes down to the Baseball Writers of America inducting guys, which is not a foregone conclusion that either of these guys make it in with the Baseball Writers of America.
No. I know this is a tough one.
It's a tough one. I hope Shoeless Joe Jackson gets in. Not that it really matters at this point in time because his name has been so tarnished with the Black Sox scandal anyway that it's a little too far gone. Pete Rose, I look at it and I go, I mean, not a great guy, great baseball player, but not a great guy. Does he deserve to get in based on what he did on the baseball field? Probably. Would I lose sleep if he never made it in? No. That's about how I feel.
Shoeless Joe Jackson, by the way, 356 all-time batting average, 423 on base, slugging 517.
Oh, he did that in like the dead ball era.
Yep.
So he was special.
It's going to be close. Now, the other question is, when you do this, let's just say it. Here's the deal. He'll be nominated. Right? You want to be relevant? Nominate Pete Rose and see where it goes. Right? It's going to happen. Both these guys will get nominated. They'll be on a ballot. Now it'll be up to whoever votes to get it done, if it's the case.
With the MLB, you have to have most of the writers behind you.
Question is, if they get in, this is the question that's being posed now. Let's say Pete Rose gets in. Joe Jackson, I think, gets in. Does it open up the door for others in the steroids era that have been kept out? Does it help their case?
The difference between guys who were potentially embroiled in gambling things is the fact that you did not have a leg up on your competition.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, you were hurting your own stats in order to make some money. And if you have Hall of Fame stats while, again, as I said with Pete Rose, while point shaving, while trying to not score some runs at some times, like, that's something. A steroid user is the guy that gives himself a leg up on everyone else in the MLB.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, in the 90s, like,
everybody did in the 90s.
Yeah.
Not everybody, I say. Everybody and never are strong words.
If you watched a player in the 90s that was good, in order to compete with the other guys who were good from steroids, they were probably on steroids. Like, I bet there's a lot more guys than we'll ever know about that were using steroids in the 90s. And I bet the MLB probably knows they'll never share it because they don't want to tarnish their own image.
No.
The guys that are currently like blackballed because they use steroids, they're scapegoats right now.
I still maintain that Major League Baseball knew all about this, in my opinion, but they were really popular then. In MLB, they liked popularity when it was not popular before that. With the strike and all that coming back, they were really popular, and I think they knew more than they let off. And then when it started to become a problem, wait a minute, we're going to suspend you.
Yeah,
you're out. Done.
A couple guys, the ones we talk about, Clemens, Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, they've all been scapegoated.
Oh, yeah.
Compared to the rest of the MLB. Everyone was doing it. But I don't think the MLB will compromise their standards because the guys that have been scapegoated have this public persona of they got one over on the MLB. They had an advantage on everybody else. And you're not going to get those guys into the Hall of Fame if the prevailing opinion is, well, they had an advantage on everybody else because they were taking steroids. They're not going to get in.
No. Gambling's
a different thing altogether. Pete Rose is on the line for me. Let's get Shoeless Joe Jackson in.
Yep. It'll be interesting as it keeps going. Man, what's going on? I knew we were right on that. A lot more in the second hour coming up. Maybe Coach Jody, maybe not. But we'll talk some Huskers, too, in the second half. Talk a little baseball. We got a big must-win series this weekend. So you guys take a break with us. Refill the coffee. We'll be back here shortly in the second hour.
Feet. Pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Ole Olson, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage in the arms, hands, legs, or feet.
What are the symptoms?
Symptoms can be numbness, burning, tingling, pain, or even loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we see amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands, or balance issues, call Asuta Health today for a nerve damage screening. This screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Simply call 402-745-3115. Act now. Call 402-745-3115 for your free nerve damage screening. Be among the first 10 callers and get this important screening for free. 402-745-3115.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Hereeth my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Get it? With the times.
With the times?
You're playing the lute. Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-894-7722. That's 800-894-7722. Again, 800-894-7722.
Lincoln's local news, talk, sports, and weather station. FM 101.5, 1240 AM, KFOR, and KFRX HD3, Lincoln.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The world's largest retailer says price hikes are coming. Walmart reporting strong quarterly sales, but admitting today it cannot make a prediction on the next quarter's profits because there's too much uncertainty surrounding those tariffs. Walmart also says it will be raising prices soon to offset the cost of the tariffs. American consumers also trying to gauge what's next. ABC's Jim Ryan with more on retail sales numbers from last month.
The numbers have seesawed this year as President Trump has first promised and then backed away from steep tariffs on imports. Consumers went on a buying spree in March to beat the expected price increases and apparently bought all they wanted to then. Retail sales in April were up only 0.1% month to month.
President Trump in the United Arab Emirates, the final stop on his Middle Eastern tour, which also includes stops in Saudi Arabia and Qatar. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky is in Turkey for talks about ending the war in his country. A Russian delegation is there, but Vladimir Putin is not, and neither is President Trump. ABC's Ian Pannell is in Istanbul with more.
I think on many levels, it's not a huge surprise. You had President Trump speaking, essentially saying that even he doesn't think that Putin would come here to Turkey unless Trump was also coming. I mean, there is pressure, without a doubt. But at the moment, I think it sends a signal that and the delegation that they've chosen, that for Russia, this isn't crunch talks, this isn't the last minute, this isn't a breakthrough in any kind of deal.
At the Supreme Court this morning, oral arguments on whether judges have the right to issue nationwide injunctions. Specifically, the case revolves around birthright citizenship, the 14th Amendment that says anyone born in the U.S. is automatically a U.S. citizen. Judges challenging President Trump's executive order taking that away. The Wisconsin judge accused of helping a man in the country illegally evade immigration officials has pleaded not guilty to obstruction. You're listening to ABC News.
Are you living with dry AMD? If so, you could be on the road to geographic atrophy, or GA, a condition that leads to retinal cell death and permanent vision loss. But with Izervay, you can slow it down, get it going slower. Izervay slows GA progression by targeting a key source of retinal cell death, which may help preserve your vision longer. Izervay, or Avastin Capted Pagal, is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
State lawmakers are grappling over finalizing a state budget. Good morning. I'm Jeff Moats. We're at 72 degrees at KFOR. Final round talks are underway this morning in the Nebraska legislature on finalizing the proposed two-year state budget. The mainline budget bills, LB 261 and 264, they advanced from the second round on Monday, and today is the final day to pass the budget. Nebraska lawmakers Wednesday night got the necessary 33 votes needed to advance LB 89. That's the Stand With Women Act, which would now confine transgender athletes to sports teams based on their biological sex instead of gender expression. Bill sponsor, Omaha Senator Kathleen Koth, called gender dysphoria a disorder, but opponents like Abby Swatsworth of Out Nebraska say the proposal is an escalation of anti-trans legislation and that laws like this do more harm than good by singling out trans students. She told KFOR's media partner 1011 News the response from Nebraskans is opposed to the bill rather than in favor.
It's much more important, I think, that our senators focus on issues that would really help the working families of Nebraska.
The bill had previously extended those restrictions to bathrooms and locker rooms, but was amended Wednesday to only focus on the sports aspect. 9 vehicles have been towed for violating the nuisance vehicles ordinance that took effect in Lincoln April 15th. Lincoln Police Public Information Manager Erica Thomas cited some examples of stops done by officers.
A 2023 Jeep Renegade driven by a 32-year-old Lincoln man who was the son of the registered owner, speeding on O Street, refused to pull over when officers initiated a traffic stop. That vehicle was ultimately located at the suspect's residence and towed.
The Lincoln City Council on March 31st approved of updating the nuisance vehicle ordinance. Second and final stop for the One Team, One Mission blood drive with Lincoln Police and Lincoln Fire and Rescue is happening today until 1 o'clock at the Hall of Justice downtown. To make an appointment to donate blood, you'll need to go to ncbb.org to register. Lincoln's first forecast today, sunny and breezy with a high of 82. It's 72 right now. I'm Jeff Moats, KFOR News.
In dealing with the high interest rates, it's very important that you get as much bang for the buck. And that's what our Remington Homes is all about.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, talking about Remington Homes, which makes the home building process easier and more affordable.
People really enjoy being able to go to our website, which is remingtonlincoln.com, pick a plan, pick a price point, go through and build it yourself. You have a lot of options, whether you want granite, whether you want painted trim or other upgrades. Those are all options with our Remington Homes. People do not want to be married to their house payment. They want to get a nice house with nice finishes in a great area for an affordable price. And that's what Remington Homes are all about.
Home building is easier.
This is the Morning Hookup on KFOR.
Working on a night move, trying to make some front page driving news.
Welcome back to the Morning Hookup, hour number 2. Thanks for hanging out with us on a Thursday. Maybe Coach Jody and Foreman, we'll see. They got an 11:05 start. If not, we got plenty to get to. So we're going to talk a little baseball, keep the theme rolling there a little bit. I wanted to ask you because it's the common thing now. Once schedules get released, there's the schedule release videos of the teams. I haven't seen a lot of them. I just watched the Tennessee Titans one, and I had a lot of chuckles. That is, whoever did that is awesome. Is it Schedule Rizzy?
Is that what it is?
It's called Schedule Rizzy. Have you seen it? Schedule
Well,
Rizzy?
I was scrolling through and I was catching bits and pieces of all of them.
Yeah.
I liked the Chargers last night.
Oh, yeah.
They did their
Saw
entire
that one.
Minecraft or their entire schedule release in Minecraft
Yes.
version.
Yes. But it was Schedule Rizzy. Because I think that plays off as that drug out there called Sky Rizzy.
Mhm.
And it goes, if you watch it, it scrolls through the bottom and it has the symptom from every team they're playing. From jet lag to different itches. It's pretty interesting. Who comes up with those concepts pretty quick? But they're fun. They're fun. Like you can get lost in that world of watching scheduled video releases.
I was told that the Colts had to take theirs down.
Yeah, something that, well, you know why? Because I think they had Tyreek Hill in there being arrested or something.
Yeah, by the Coast Guard. It was Tyreek Hill as a dolphin, and the Coast Guard pulls up and arrests the dolphin.
Yeah, it just Colts. There's just story. It's so funny. ESPN the story just popped up, said Colts apologized to Hill after team received backlash.
Oh, I thought it was funny.
Why don't you just own it? You did it. You own it.
Yeah. Did you or did you not get arrested, Tyreek Hill?
I mean, the question is, did this happen? We're not portraying something that didn't.
Yeah. That would be similar to like a schedule release though, of like Rashee Rice speeding and getting arrested. It'd be similar, I guess. Probably not in. It's in poor taste a little bit, but it is funny.
I mean, aren't those supposed to be fun?
Broncos was unfortunately a little bit lame. They had you've seen the sheep busting that they do at rodeos.
Oh yeah,
where they have the kids ride the sheep.
Yeah.
So they had their schedule release was in the form of a whole bunch of kids riding sheep with different logos on the side of the helmets. It was all right. It wasn't the best.
Impressive, right?
It never compares. The two teams that always seem to do it well are the Titans and the Chargers.
Yeah.
The Titans a couple of years ago had that one where they go down to Broadway in Nashville and ask the random people, "Hey, what team logo is this?"
Maybe that's all they're good at. Titans fans, Chargers fans, JP, if you're listening.
If you're a Titans fan, sorry, buddy. That's tough.
That is real tough.
That is real tough. Hope you like the Will Levis experience.
Ryan 840 said, I joke with the former pitcher at my work who was in the MLB. If he would have just taken the shot, he would have been thrown or in the Hall of Fame at minimum and wouldn't have to work with me.
Oh, you gotta
wait a minute. Let's find out. This will be great. No way. Get out of here. Get out of here. Coach Jody, live. Is he in the dugout?
He's in the locker room. I asked him if he's in the dugout just off the air, and he said, there's too much music in the dugout, so he's back in a quiet place.
Oh, let's go. Coach, good morning. How are you?
What's going on, guys? Yeah, I'm trying to find a quiet place. So I'm in the locker room. We got music playing in here, but I can't go outside because it's like up to 40, 50-mile-an-hour winds today, and got some rain coming potentially. So it's interesting, and a bunch of screaming kids here.
Oh, is it their
day?
It's their school night. It's their school day.
Yeah, you got one of those camp days or whatever. So they'll be coming in. And the buses here. I don't know if they're here yet or not. I'm gonna go outside as soon as we're done here and check it out. But yeah, usually there's a lot of kids asking for your glove and hat and jersey and all that stuff.
Well, and this, I wonder when they have kids nights, like, because obviously we have one here. We have the LPS day, and they're very positive, and it's a lot of noise. Are the kids mean when they're on the road to you guys?
No, most of the time everybody's pretty nice, especially if you if you give them a couple of balls early, then they're your favorite. But then you got kid after kid coming to you asking for stuff. But no, you can definitely get them on your side pretty quickly, I think. But yeah, you gotta be strategic.
And Kids Day's got to feel a little bit better after a win, Coach, right? Because wasn't it was a tough opening weekend in Kansas City. You get that first win of the season last night. It's got to be some good feelings now with the kids in the stands, right?
It is, man. I mean, it's good to get that first one. I don't think I've ever started off, 0-0 because it's so important. I always like to keep ahead on the win column over your loss column if you can, and you want to start off better than that. But obviously, a tough opponent in Kansas City, and we lost a tough one on I think Sunday. It was in 11 innings, and just things haven't quite gone our way. But yeah, I think it's coming together. I had a really good work day yesterday. We sat in the locker room, me and the other coaches on whatever night, Tuesday night, I think, after the first Sioux Falls game, and really tried to hash out some things and figure some things out and start talking about people's approaches, whether they're pitching, hitting, whatever. So we really had a good work day before the game yesterday, and then, kind of took that into the game, and it, worked out, and it was really good to see. We got a great group here, and they want to get better and stuff, but there's definitely some adjustments that need to be made, and some learning and growing pains and stuff on the pitching staff because we're young, but we're testing them early and often, and trying to get where we need to get to.
Coach, I want to ask you about pregame. One, for you personally as a player, and then as a manager, home and on the road, how they vary and how important they are. Because I think people forget, like on the road, it's a little tougher. You try to keep the routine the best you can. But how do you maintain that on the road versus home? And then what was like for you as a player?
Yeah, so at home it's obviously easier. You're comfortable. You're in familiar territory and an environment and stuff. You got your places to go eat or whatever you'd like to do, and you can get to the field as early as you want to. And as far as working, you can do early work and stuff, and have the field anytime you want, and schedule out things how you want to there. On the road, it is tougher. I always hated to, because I was very strategic or regimented with what I ate and stuff, even and how much sleep you get and different things like that. And you can't control everything. You can't control everything at home either, but definitely on the road, it can be a little bit, different if you got a wedding party or something like that going on, and they're roaming up and down the hallways all night or something, keeping you up or whatever the case may be. And it's tough to find, things that you want to eat to maximize your ability to feel as, top notch shape and good. So yeah, all those things come into play, but you just got to kind of roll with it. And a lot of times you pack certain things maybe in your bag or whatever to plan out and make sure you're taking care of yourself, and hydration is key. And obviously some of those basic things, but and then as far as getting your work in, you're kind of under the I guess the rules and regulations that the opposing team sets, where you only have a limited time allotted to you to get in the cage or use the field or use the mounds or different things like that. So definitely not as much work time, but try to use the road too, as hopefully get some rest and stuff like that, and recuperate maybe from trips or anything like that. And you get your work in, but it's kind of minimized a little bit. But we are looking forward to getting back home, where you can, like I said, get out there and work on anything you want to, and get on a natural surface. We haven't played on a natural surface yet since spring training. Now it's been, Kansas City moved to AstroTurf, and the infield here in Sioux Falls is turf as well. So it'd be good to get back on the natural surface at home and get used to that and get some work in.
Well, tell me, Coach, with school wrapping up for kids here in Lincoln, and you get the travel ball that really starts ramping up, do you have any hotel room tips? I mean, you spend a lot of time in hotel rooms through your baseball career. What are your tips to make sure that you get the best baseball for some of the younger baseball players out there, or some parents that are going to be spending some time in hotel rooms this summer?
Yeah, I mean, look, don't depend on going out and buying all these things and stuff. I'll bring cases of water with me. Usually, I mean, we do the travel stuff too, volleyball, and we did softball back in the day. So bring you a big old Costco case of water or wherever you get it from and stuff, and snacks and different things like that are healthy for you, that you can always have if you can't find a meal or whatever. Obviously, you want to eat things, but you don't want to eat chicken fingers and fries or pizza in between games and stuff like that. And a lot of stuff they're selling in the concession stands and stuff. So you got to really be smart with that, and start planning ahead and hydrate and stuff, and eat well, maybe even carb load a little bit before you have your tournament. So if your tournament starts on Saturday, maybe Friday midday or something, you want to eat a nice good meal and something healthy that you can kind of get some things you're going to burn throughout the week. But yeah, bring a lot of those supplies. I even bring like a little blender or something, maybe some frozen fruits or different things like that, where you can make smoothies and different things like that are kind of healthy for you. So definitely do that. And then right when you get to the room, put your do not disturb sign on there, because if you forget to do that, then the maid comes knocking on your door at whatever time. And so I actually don't let the maid come in at all. I mean, dude, we don't clean our rooms every day at home, do we? So I don't need fresh towels every day, and I don't need my bed made and stuff like that. I'll be just fine. So, but yeah, that's what I do. Put my thing on the door, do not disturb sign, so I'm not getting disturbed there. Close the blinds or the curtains really well, and make sure the light doesn't come through, and put the fan. I always put the fan on the air conditioner, so you always have a little bit of noise to drown out any hallway noise or things like that. So those are all the things that I kind of try to do, and find your plugs that work for your chargers and all that stuff, and then we're good to go.
Boy, that is bad, man. Speaking
That's
of
experience.
well,
right
I know.
there. I ain't never heard of someone bringing a blender to a hotel room. I love
Listen,
that.
I get his life. Like I played a little, D3 baseball, in college, and that was our life. And then now I've been doing select ball for 8 years with my boys. You just nailed every bit of it. Like, don't come in the room. We're good.
And don't get a room next to the elevator.
Nope.
You don't want that, because you're going to hear those buttons and the thing going up and down. So if you get that, try to switch right away.
Nailed every bit of this. I got this weekend. So, man, all right. Well, we got Sawdog's manager, Brett Jody, hanging out with us. Well, Coach, talk about hitting a little bit, man. You got some guys off to some really good starts. Talk about their approach. You got 5 or 6 guys over 300. Brody's off to a torrid start, hitting 500.
I'll tell you what, that guy's been impressive. Ooh. And yeah, we're trying to get some guys on the same page. And at the beginning, it was 2 or 3 here and 2 or 3 there or whatever. But the exciting part is some of our better hitters on paper are not really hitting yet, but they will, and that's what we're looking forward to. But some of the guys where you didn't really know, some of the young guys like a Brody Farr is on fire, and I'll tell you what, he's gotten better and better in camp. His gloves playing well, his arm strength's good, his range is good. He puts together, a great approach at the plate, and it's exciting to see those young guys do that. Mm-hmm. And then some of the other guys are hitting the balls hard, not being rewarded for it and stuff. That happens a little bit, so they just got to stay positive and stay with what they do, and the balls will start dropping for them too. So, very excited about the future of that. But there are some adjustments for sure that we need to have. But BP yesterday, with the exception of a guy or two, was very, very solid. So, and it's not that if you take a good BP, it's going to go right into the game, but you can start to see, because I throw a lot of the BP too. So I'm throwing locations. I'll even throw different pitches, cutters or curveballs or stuff like that. And if they're able to kind of maintain balance and they're covering the plate and stuff in that, and squaring up balls going the other way, then that's a good sign for the game or things to come, I should say, as we move forward. And that's definitely what's going on. Most of the guys are getting more and more comfortable with that, and so that's really good to see. And on the pitching side, we're working there, making some adjustments as well, and trying to get things ironed out. And we've had a couple injuries already, on the pitching side of things. I think that's the new normal with baseball now. I think we talked about that with just the heavy ball programs and stuff. People are throwing harder and they're stronger and faster, but they're also putting more stress on their arms and stuff, so more conducive to injuries. But trying to sort through that, and with the expanded roster early in the season, that's helped as well, where you're able to keep a couple extra guys. Now we don't have extra guys anymore. We're down to our normal number for the most part because of some of these injuries, but able to, brought in a lot of potential starters to camp, and had, we're splitting the games up right now where the starters going 3 or 4, and then a bullpen guy comes in and goes 3, and then you go to your other later inning guys to go an inning apiece. So it's worked out well. Still have a lot of improvements to make, but definitely moving in the right direction.
Coach, you mentioned throwing BP. Can I say guys like our age who have thrown a lot of baseballs, what is your arm care routine after throwing BP, and how long are you down for?
Dude, I threw all 3 groups yesterday, and I just kind of wanted to prove a point. I made up my mind the night before, not that I want to do that, but I'm like, I'm gonna throw all 3 groups. I'm gonna show them this old guy can do this still, and get after it. And if we're losing or whatever, I want to show them, like, all right, this guy's out there working and trying to get this done. So sometimes I'll do some things like that just to, I don't know if it does a thing, but it does something for me. And so yeah, arm care. I still have to do the bands and light weights and stuff to get the rotator cuff. I still have to do some jogging and things like that. Obviously stretching and everything. And yeah, it's harder than it used to be. Stretch out the hips because you're hitting there and landing every time and putting pressure on that front hip and stuff. So I don't want to say I'm getting too old to do this all the time, but I would rather not do it all the time. But I do trust myself too, and like to like I said, I like to locate it in certain spots. Like if they want the ball in, I'm gonna put it in. If they want it away, if they want it moved, if they want different pitches, then I can do that. And that's that's something I think is helpful at times. Or if I see a guy with a weakness on a breaking ball, I'm gonna throw around the breaking balls to him. Not that I'm trying to get him out. I just want him to see spin and stuff like that. So, but yeah, it's you definitely wake up a little more sore, a little more stiff than you used to, and it's definitely a lot more maintenance than it used to be, right? You used to pop out of bed and go do all that stuff. Now it's probably a 30-minute routine at least to just to go brush my teeth in the morning, probably, and then obviously to get ready for BP and then to get ready for the next day. It's tough as well.
Lincoln Salt Dogs manager Brett Jody with us here on the Morning Hookup. They got a game coming up here in about 45 minutes, so we'll be getting Brett Jody in and out. But Coach, whenever you look at the season so far, you've been on the road. You get to come back home tonight, and then it's a home stand. You're opening the season at home with Winnipeg this weekend. I don't want to look too far ahead. I know you got the game today, but what are you looking forward to this weekend, getting back home, getting out in front of the home fans?
Yeah, it's always fun playing in front of our home fans and in a beautiful ballpark. So really looking forward to that. And we have been on the road for a little while now, and luckily it's been 2 trips that haven't been that bad, and it was an off day in between. So that's been huge, especially this early in the season when we're not spread out pitching wise and stuff. So, but I think this might be the first time though we're getting introduced 3 times. We got introduced in Kansas City's home opener, and then we were at Sioux Falls home opener, and now we're going to do our own home opener. So, got to high five and get on the line a few times, and then you won't do it again until the playoffs probably. So hopefully do it a 4th or 5th or 6th time after that. But yeah, definitely looking forward to hopefully having a great crowd on Friday night and some good weather and playing in front of our fans and that wonderful ballpark. So yeah, it'll be exciting, and I think the guys are ready to get home and get after it.
Well, Coach, we'll get you out of here. I know you got to go out there and get the boys ready to go. So we appreciate your time. Good luck, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys at the ballpark coming up.
Sounds awesome, guys. Y'all have a good one.
Thanks, Coach. Coach manager, Salt Dogs manager, Brett Jody right there. There'll be a big crowd tomorrow night, by the way. It's going to be, looks like nice weather. And there's certain nights that brings people to the ballpark.
It's KFOR night. I'm sure people will be there for KFOR
That's
night.
where I was going at. Not the fireworks.
It's KFOR night. I've been trying to convince Schmitty to throw out the first pitch.
He won't do it? Is he nervous?
I don't know.
Do you think he so here's the deal. I've done it a couple times, and there's one thing that will always happen that most don't do just because it's in me. Kev, you'll get this. I have to throw it from the mound, the bump, the full 60 feet, 6 inches. None of this up front stuff. That's the way it goes. Schmitty would go to the front of the mound, wouldn't he?
Probably.
Would he wear a hat, or we had the nice hair?
Nice hair for sure.
Yeah.
He'll be wearing a polo and sunglasses.
Polo and shades.
Yeah. That's Schmitty's look right there. See, I'd throw it out, but I'm gonna be back here in studio. Our good friend Justice is headed back home for a week and a half.
Yeah, that's right.
His brother's graduating high school. He finished his semester, so he's getting a little bit of time
Good
away.
for him.
So I'm gonna be in studio. I'm producing that Salt Dogs game tomorrow night, so I won't be throwing out any first pitches. But
Schmitty, step up.
I would.
If you're listening, go throw the pitch.
I'll go there and throw a curveball.
I can't tonight either. Or Friday night. I'll be in Kansas City.
So I'll go spike a curveball.
Yeah.
Everyone at the stadium be like, "Oh, he threw it in the dirt," and I'm like, "No, that was a nasty pitch."
Yeah, I've done it a couple times. You got to go to fullback. So
I need to get before I throw out a first pitch. I've been occasionally when I umpire, I'll toss knuckleballs back to the pitcher. I got to work on that for a first pitch.
I do that every time there's like a foul ball and I get it. It's a knuckleball back to the mound or the catch.
Those poor pitchers.
It's just what happens.
They get a dog knuckle. It's fun. It's fun to toss a knuckle because sometimes it doesn't actually knuckle and it looks like a normal ball comeback. But you get that occasional one that doesn't spin much.
Yeah, and it kind of breaks up the a little laugh, get a little laugh out of your pitch or whatever. Get a little break. I was gonna ask Coach though, because I'm like this. I throw a ton of BP. All of our coaches throw a ton of BP. How awesome it is, and again, I'm throwing to 14-year-olds, by the way. That how awesome it is sometimes when you have them whiff really good. The good whiff. I just go. I showboat a little bit.
What's your
or if I let one go by?
What's your whiff pitch? Do you have one that you get?
Oh yeah, I throw a little nasty slider up to him.
A slider, okay.
Oh yeah. Come on, Coach. Sometimes I like to start it like at their hip to watch them like buckle. I'm still living it up out there on the bump.
It's impressive. If you're
by the way,
that much
BP, by the way,
impressive.
And BP, by the way, I'm only throwing it from like 30 feet.
Yeah, I'm saying it's impressive if you're getting movement.
Oh, I am.
Feet.
I get up, rip on it, or one that goes across the plate. What, like stuff down the middle? I stalk them. 14-year-old kids, 47-year-old man.
Still got it. Sometimes
Still
you got to
got
show
it.
the kids you still got it.
Yeah. And then they let me know when they rip me, too. They let me know. So, all right, let's take a break. We'll continue to talk to baseball. Big series for Nebraska baseball. Let's talk about that when we return. Total arm care guy. I get Coach Jody at my age. I have to run after the stretch, run, all that stuff. Ice sometimes. My gosh. No bueno. Troy, 4-seam, 2-seam change-up slider. Would throw the knuckleball too. There are people that are slider guys, and there are people that are 12-6 breaking ball guys. That's the Troy, I'll answer that. It's a great question. Hang tight when I go back on.
Okay. So I was leaving you high and dry there for a second.
You're good. I had some conversations.
I'm
going to answer Troy's question when he comes back, though.
I was taking Caleb here through the phone lines, which are confusing.
Yeah.
Phone lines took me forever to learn.
Yeah. The ones that don't work do work. The ones to do your interviews from.
That's the whole thing. The bottom bank of phones, the top bank.
I want to press this one time to see what it does. Probably doesn't even work.
From in there? You can run it from in there.
I can answer the phone.
Already? Press the top phone bank, the 489.
Oh, yeah. How do I hang it up?
Drop. Far left.
All right.
Look at that. You can dial from in there too, actually.
Oh, I see a little, yeah.
Yeah.
AK 10 key.
So.
I didn't realize that. I'm scared to touch stuff.
I'm teaching Hooksy and Caleb the phone lines in one day.
What is this thing here? What is this thing? Control room intercom. That if you go, I can talk to you.
Yeah, it doesn't work. That thing has not worked since I showed up. So it's your version of the talk back.
I feel like I could talk to you without you hearing me.
That has not worked from the day I showed up to this place, from what I understand.
You're still not convinced the dump button works.
It does. I used it last week.
Oh, it does.
In the afternoons, it works.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Hey, try it out. Cuss this segment. I'll let you know.
No, I'm not doing that.
We're coming back.
They wanna get mine. Go on the ceiling. I ain't blind.
Welcome back in the Morning Hookup. Special thanks there. Boy, big time special thanks. Coach Jody. Salt Dogs manager, Coach Jody, hanging out with us from the locker room. They're going to be going on the field in about 35 minutes.
And for those that like to listen to Salt Dogs Baseball on KFOR, today's game will not be on the airwaves of KFOR. Our weekday day games we do not carry, with the exception being holidays. So Memorial Day, 4th of July, if we get any of those day games on those days, we will carry those. But during the week, we do not. So no Salt Dogs game today. The next game you'll hear on the airwaves of KFOR with Rich Ray and myself tomorrow night, the home opener, Lincoln against Winnipeg. Fireworks Friday.
Yeah, baby.
So I believe pregame starts at 6:35. First pitch will be 7:05 tomorrow night here on the airwaves of KFOR.
Let's go. Troy asked if I ever go. He asked me what pitches I threw. It was a 4-seam, 2-seam change-up slider guy. Occasional knuckleball. I'd mix it in. I would throw it a couple. Because I think in pitching world, you're either a slider guy or a 12-6 curveball guy. That's just my arm slot was more here than anything. He also asked if you ever go high and tight on. They're 14-year-olds, but yeah. Answer is yeah. Here's what I've learned.
Intentionally?
No. Here's what I've learned. This has been the evolution of baseball and hitting. When I grew up, 47 years old, growing up in this baseball world, we knew how to pull the baseball. We didn't really know how to hit backside. We tried. We wanted to yank it. Kids today cannot pull the baseball. We teach them middle, right side. It's rare that you see a kid pull a baseball.
And is that also
so I will throw inside to get him to pull, but I'd say 6 out of 10 times they don't swing at BP when it's inside.
Is that also a factor of, and that's why I come to you. I feel like when I'm on the baseball diamond, I hear let it travel more than anything right now. Is that whenever guys are out in front, they want them to let it travel.
Yeah.
And those inside pitch, the inside fastball, it's not for pulling anymore. That's for fouling off.
I know, and that drives me nuts. The let it travel is more like the pitching speed that you're looking at, right? Because in the hitting world, like it's where you hit it back in the zone, like here, pull. Now we're getting the middle right field, right? So sit back, let it travel. It's just been an interesting evolution of that. Because we do teach, sit back, hit it the other way. I don't know. We used to pull it back in the day. We wanted to yank it down the line.
Yeah, now I see inside fastballs, and for the most part, it's foul that thing off, stay alive.
Coaches out there. I love the pitching stuff. I'm a nerd in the pitching stuff. If you can get your kids at an early age, 10, whatever, to buy in to throwing in, you'll have some success.
I feel like kids that age, they're scared of hitting people.
You have some success, right? Go in, and it does. Most of the time, it doesn't have to be a strike. Just go in, but just put a little doubt. You're going to dig in and get close. Just go in.
I know you don't want to hit a kid. They don't want to be hit either.
But also, it's also the education, and Coach Vlieger, by the way, is such a great with this. Is kids today, and I'm thinking in generalities, right? Don't understand hitting counts. There's a chart out there that will show you I can't remember the years that it's from, but the hitting average on certain counts, 0-0, 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, it'll show you all that and the evolution of how the point of diminishing averages when you get 2 strike, 0-1, 0-2, 1-2, it's incredible how low the averages are with those counts. Teaching them to think like a pitcher sometimes too, because most pitchers at a young age, or even in the big leagues, Kyle, whatever, what does a pitcher want to do? Get ahead.
Mm-hmm.
So what most likely in the youth world, what's that pitch going to be to get ahead?
Fastball.
Yeah. Most of the times, the best pitch is the first pitch. It's just a nature. Pitchers are dumb.
Speaking of,
okay,
did you see last night Skobal for the Tigers? Yes,
yeah.
This moment. Speaking of guys wanting to get ahead with the fastball, it was Alex Bregman.
Yeah,
at bat for the Red Sox. Mm-hmm. He had faced Skobal 6 different times in his career, and on all 6 of those, he had a base hit, and all 6 of those base hits came within the first 2 pitches of an at bat. All 6. And last night from the dugout, the Red Sox were out in the field, and he's yelling from the dugout, "Hey, take one. Take one." And Bregman's laughing out in the field. The next at bat, Bregman takes it. Second pitch, crushes it.
Yeah.
Gets a single.
Get out early in the count, man.
He took that one in at 0-1. Got a good pitch to hit 0-1. But he took that first pitch because Bregman had been ambushing him early in the counts, getting those good pitches to hit because he likes getting one across for a strike. Took one, didn't matter. That was pretty funny.
Love it.
I'm waiting for the John Boy breakdown of Skobal in the dugout.
That's coming. Yeah. So, big baseball, big series coming up in Nebraska tomorrow, by the way. Thursday, Friday, Saturday series. Mm-hmm. Don't forget, Thursday, Friday, Saturday series coming up.
Done to give yourself an extra day of rest before the Big Ten tournament because that starts midweek next week.
Yep. They're going to run in there 13-14 in the conference. Currently sitting 9th right there. Okay, sitting 9th. So you're not cemented yet into the tournament,
But with the tiebreakers, Evan Bland did a fantastic breakdown of the tie-breaking situations. Essentially, for the most part, get one game in West Lafayette, and you should be in.
Yep, because UCLA got Northwestern coming up, and they could take care of business. And
A lot of things would have to go wrong for you to get one win and not make it in.
Great.
Essentially, if you get one win in West Lafayette, you should be in. I've heard this one before, though, with Husker
this is
basketball
Nebraska
team.
sports,
Yeah.
okay?
Same Husker basketball team. You should 1 of 3 down the stretch to make.
That's all you got to
tournament.
do. That's all you got to do.
But that's pretty much the situation this week. A series win will get you in. One win likely gets you in. It's danger hours if you get swept.
Tomorrow, 5:00 start. Boy, coming off a big time Friday night start. Tucker Timmerman goes back to the mound on there. Remember how we were debating what that game was going to be like?
What's today, isn't it?
It is today. Sorry, today's Thursday. My bad. It is Thursday. But remember, you and I were talking about Timmerman's first Friday start. What we couldn't figure out if it was a bullpen type situation or if it's go as far as you can go. We know now.
Yeah.
He was slated to be that Friday guy in that situation, and he's been magnificent his last few times out on the bump. He'll boast a 2-1, 3.55 ERA, 23 strikeouts in just 25 innings. Been really good today. So that'll be, I think, Nebraska big time start. They need to take care of business right away.
And what I love about Timmerman, and it's limited sample size for now, but he's got efficiency as a pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
He's got some stuff, but hey, he's going to generate soft contact.
He pitches the contact.
Pitches to contact. Hey, if he gets you to 2 strikes, he's got some pitches.
Yes.
But he's not focused on getting you 2 strikes. If you're swinging and he's generating soft contact, he's happy. That's big for a Friday night guy. The thing that Childress really wants in a Friday night guy is a guy that's going to go out and compete. A guy that's got a little bit of dog to him.
And that's what you get.
That's what you get from Timmerman. You see, whenever he took that comebacker to the face and he's firing up the crowd and firing up his team on the way out, that's the evidence of who Timmerman is. He's got a little dog to him, and it really helps in a Friday night role as well. If you can get deep because you're efficient with the way you pitch, Timmerman, I think, checks both of those boxes.
Purdue's going to come in. They're going to swing the bat a little bit. They're 6th in the Big Ten, tied for 6th, 289 average as a team.
Their pitching staff isn't great, though.
Yeah, that's the part. That's they're going to. Yeah.
What's their team ERA?
I'm going there right now.
I remember it's high.
Can't find them. Oh, there they are. Sorry, it moved 5.55.
Yeah, that's high. Whereas Nebraska's team
5.23, right?
5.23, yeah.
It's going to be everything we've talked about in Nebraska baseball. Like, win the weekend, number one. Get out early. Timmerman and your starters got to get you to 5 at least. And you got to score how many runs?
5 to 6.
5 to 6.
That number's dropped a little bit because the pitching staff's been better in the past 3 weeks or so. So the number's dropped down to maybe 5. I'd still say 6 is comfortable. My ask here is don't put pressure on yourself. Take Thursday night. The tie-breaking situations mean essentially good things for you if you take one game. Take Thursday night. Take that pressure off yourself. If you lose Thursday and Friday and you got to get a win on Saturday, you already lost a series. That means that's danger. Mm-hmm. Go get that Friday night win. Easier said than done, obviously, but go put some runs on the board. Trust Timmerman. Get a Thursday night win. Take that pressure off yourself. If you have that pressure off yourself, I feel good about this team going out there and getting a series win, if not a sweep. Yep. But let's not reach a point where it's Saturday playing tight,
stressing over a win.
Need it. Yeah.
There'll be also Coach Boldown, so also be without Max Butenbach again this weekend with an injury. Tyler Stone will travel after being hit by a pitch, so we'll have to see what that looks like, what that does, because if Stone's on there, you got to find some power, some production. Butenbach, that's unfortunate. He was swinging the bat so well.
Is it injuries? I think it's sickness.
Is it sickness?
I think if I remember correctly, he came down with something not the Michigan series the week before.
He did say that. He did. Well, he said with all the injuries and some of the Coach Bolt, with all the injuries and some of the things that have happened, we just keep going. That big loss with Butenbach really swinging the bat well. Him X and lineup, we ended up 4 or 5 after that, still finding a way to win.
Yeah, I think Max is it's a extended sickness, I think.
Oh man. So gotta get it done. That's it.
That you do. It's a big task. And then hey, not to mention, let's not gloss over the fact tomorrow, and we'll spend some more time on this tomorrow. Husker softball.
Yeah, that's right, man.
Kicking off their regional. They got UConn tomorrow mid-afternoon. I think it's at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. start, I think, for Husker softball. So it's a big weekend for them as well. Husker baseball needs one. Husker softball, if you get the first two, I mean, you took down UConn and likely LSU. Put yourself in the driver's seat for that regional. So big weekend for them.
You're right. 2:00 tomorrow. UConn down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. ESPN Plus will cover that one for you. So, man, a lot of good stuff in Husker sports and hopefully some positive results coming our way. So let's take a break and come back to some stories that we missed. Yeah, right. And for pitchers are dumb. Pitchers are dumb and not athletic. I pitched. Tell our pitchers, anytime there's a fly ball or in the air, get out of the way. Try to be the best if you can. If you understand, like, if there's a hard hit ground ball, let it go to the fielders, not put your glove on it. There's always somewhere to be. Pitchers are the worst at game watching, especially they give up runner on first, base hit or whatever. They just stand there and watch the base hit. Get your butt, go back up third. Always somewhere to be. Ball to first base. Get over. I yell that. Tired of yelling that. And it's one of those things, no matter, regardless of it, if it's hit to the right side, your momentum as a pitcher should be going that way anyway. Just go.
Well, it's the little things in baseball, getting over there. Tiny little things. When the third baseman, hey, you pick off to first, the third baseman comes and backs up the pitcher on a throwback.
Yes. Hey, middle infield guys, pick the first, just creep.
Yep.
One of you got to creep.
Yep. It's tiny little things in baseball where, hey, 95 times out of 100, you're not going to have that issue. But those few times where you do have the overthrow back to first, it's a big difference if the third baseman stops it at the third baseline or if it rolls all the way to the fence.
Yeah.
Huge. That's a base. That's baseball for you.
They don't say it's the game of inches for nothing.
And you see it even at the high school level, the teams that are winning lots of games at the high school level, they do the little things right.
They do. They don't. It's just those teams that don't beat themselves. They don't beat themselves. Just said Nebraska baseball. Due to inclement weather, tonight's first pitch has moved up to 4:30.
By 30 minutes?
30 minutes. I don't know. Maybe that's they're projecting the end of the game.
Okay.
Storm will be here by 7.
Interesting. Okay. 30 minutes doesn't seem like much.
Well, we have had issues with Purdue before.
That's true. It's a throwback song.
Throwback.
I don't think I have any stories that we missed. I'll find something.
Come on, man.
I'll find something.
I don't have any either, but we will. They're out there.
Oh, I got something that we haven't really hit on.
You're like, that one is perfect.
I wanna turn the whole thing upside down. I'll find the things they say just can't be found.
Welcome back in the morning hookup. A few moments left to hang out with you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. On this June, they just announced, by the way, Nebraska baseball. Today's first pitch moved up 30 minutes, 4:30 start due to inclement weather. Possibly coming at the end of the game. Say you're having a hard time with the 30 minutes. What's that about?
What's that going to do?
I don't know.
You're one long half inning away from that 30 minutes being wiped out. I don't know. Maybe gives you a better chance of getting to a complete game.
Yeah.
Which is you have to get to the 6th, I think, right? For it to be considered
5.5. I
think once you make it through 5.5, yeah.
4.5, 5. It's got to be at least 5, right?
I
5
think
complete. I think
it's five complete. You have to get into the 6th inning.
Yeah, get in the 6th.
Yeah.
Or get through it and whatever. But maybe they're trying to get to that point. Big Ten Plus, first pitch, 4:30. If you're hanging out and you're like, I missed the first 2 innings. We told you here, it's 4:30. All right, here we go. Stories that we missed.
The stories we missed. The Morning Hookup.
Boy, you go back, Bray's playing a little bit better baseball. Ronald Acuna back making a rehab assignment, hit a home run, played some good defense. But he had to go back and apologize for his little Twitter post, as there was a teammate that kind of loafed at the first base, and he made a little comment about it. Has since apologized for the double standard. So sometimes your fingers get moving too fast, faster than your mouth.
And in a long season, you might be right, but it's about how you handle things. You don't want things to simmer in the locker room and fester throughout the course of a season. Those will bite you come August.
Mm-hmm.
So get out in front of it now.
He said he blamed the frustration on himself as he felt he remained unavailable. His frustration was he was unavailable while the team was losing.
Yeah. It's I don't think it's what he said. I think it's the way he went about it.
Yep. Oh, absolutely.
Keep that within the dugout. Keep that within the clubhouse. You can be frustrated that way. It's whenever you go public with it, where now guys feel attacked. That's you get out now and don't let something fester throughout the course of an entire season. I don't necessarily think you're wrong.
No,
you're making millions to play professional baseball. Hard 90, run it out to first base.
Yep.
So, actually, I have kind of a big story that we missed. It's been ongoing. College football playoff expansion.
Oh yeah, 16.
There's been talks behind the scenes. We haven't gotten approved yet. But 16 is the number. The big sticking point right now is automatic qualifiers.
Oh, man.
Current proposal that's being discussed, the Big Ten would have 4 automatic qualifiers. The SEC would have 4 automatic qualifiers.
That's half.
Yeah. The Big 12 gets 2. The ACC gets 2.
Okay, so 2, that's 10.
You get 3 at-larges, and then your highest-ranked group of 5 member also makes it in. So that's the current proposal. Right now,
who's mad?
The Big 12 and the ACC.
They want more?
They don't like the fact that the Big 10 and the SEC get 4.
Sorry, the big dogs are talking.
What I don't understand is I think it's generous to give the Big 12 and the ACC 2 each. That's a generous proposal. If you look back last year, if you take away, Clemson got in because they won the ACC title game. But if you take that away, there was only one Big 12 team and one ACC team in the final 16. One each. Arizona State and SMU were your only 2 that ended in the top 16. So, with that in mind, them giving you 2 is generous.
I think you're fine. Move on.
You're mad that you're getting 2? You're lucky to be getting 2. Look back at the college football playoff rankings last year and tell me it's unfair that those 2 conferences get 2 each. We'll see where it goes from here. But
16 is interesting too, by the way, about what type of teams make it in.
I think it waters it down a little bit.
A little bit. I'm talking about like with the losses. You're looking at a definite 2-loss teams, right?
If you're at 16 teams in, especially if you're in the Big 10 or the SEC, 10 wins gets you in without a shadow of a doubt.
If you're in Nebraska, you're like,
if you're in the Big 10 or the SEC, you like this. And I honestly think 2 automatic qualifiers for the Big 12 and the ACC is great too.
Mm-hmm.
One group of 5 team feels about right. The proposal just seems about right to me. And the Big 12 and the ACC, if you put up too many roadblocks, what's stopping the Big 10 and the SEC from just going off and doing their own playoff?
That's the caution in the wind right there. You nailed it. They'll get over it.
They're throwing you a bone with 2.
Yeah,
And if you throw up too many roadblocks,
they'll just go, you're out. We'll go do this somewhere else.
And no one will complain because no one actually thinks that anyone from the ACC or the Big 12 is the best team in America.
No, at all.
Because let's be honest, SMU and Arizona State were so far from Notre Dame and from Ohio State.
There was
Penn State.
There was a huge
gap
in that playoff. Huge gap. With all those teams, those type of teams again, there was a huge gap, and it showed itself. It showed itself.
I will say, I think 16 teams feels like too many teams, but it's the way in which we're going. Getting 4 more teams in the playoff gets you more college football playoff games, gets you more money, gets everyone paid. Money is the be-all, end-all in college sports right now, especially in football. So it's the way in which we're moving.
Yep.
This proposal feels very fair.
Very fair. Speaking of money in the NFL, Derrick Henry got a little 2-year deal, $30 million. Which, by the way, the new deal, he's 31 years old.
And I'm
unprecedented, by the way, because it is the largest contract in NFL history for a running back over 30.
And that's where I was going to go. We're on about year 3 now of me being like, Derrick Henry's a running back. His body's going to break down eventually, and he just keeps on doing incredible things. I am done betting against him. We'll see. Now that I'm done betting against him, he'll probably do great. But the way his style as well, he's a bruising running back.
It just shows,
usually guys' bodies break down by the time they're in their late 20s playing that position.
Yep. It just shows you what he's unique, but how well he takes care of that body. The off-season stuff, it shows you what it takes, right? I mean, that's a dedicated commitment. He's got the money to do it, okay, folks? I know it. Because all of us are sitting here going, oh, yeah, he's got a chef. But it's a dedicated approach. You look at those guys and gals that have played way deep in the career. Look at LeBron. Give LeBron credit, too, for being that in shape, that healthy. Tom Brady.
And it feels
I mean, the longevity of and again, the science and nutrition of bodies over time and eating and intake and all that is an evolution that is, like, besides me.
It feels like it should be a given that, hey, you're an NFL player, you should be taking care of your body in a very regimented way, but it's not. It's not a given. So it feels like it should be from me sitting on the couch eating potato chips, watching the NFL. I'm like, why is that guy not taking care of his body? So I know it's funny to say, but it feels like it should be the guys making millions of dollars. Yeah, you should have some routine. You should be putting some of your personal dollars down towards playing more years. It's not a given. So whenever you see somebody like Derrick Henry who's able to do it at such a high level into his 30s at the running back position.
I mean, you're talking about a guy that in 2024 rushed for 1,921 yards over age 30. Yeah. And it doesn't look like there's any signs of slowing down. And like you said, how physical he is. Good for him. Got paid.
Good for him. Good for the Ravens as well.
What else we got out there?
Oh, no, we're now running dry. We were talking during the break. I'm like, there's not many stories that we missed.
Let's see.
Update from the PGA Championship.
He's one of those. What you got there? I got it right here too.
Yeah,
some of the big time guys are struggling. Alex Noren, by the way, him and Fox setting the pace. 5 under right now. A couple notable names, I guess, in there. Matt Fitzpatrick, who's been really bad as late minus. He's 3 under. Keegan Bradley maintaining 3 under.
3 under through 9.
Yep. Scotty Scheffler just got it to red figures. He's 1 under through 11 right now. Let's go down and find the other guy. John Rahm. Ooh, boy. Back to even par. Found some wayward approaches somewhere in there. Where are you, boys? Ricky Fowler, where are you? Rory McIlroy, 2 over through 11.
Brooks Koepka, 5 over through 15.
He started so poorly. I watched his first couple holes. He is, some of the guys, I mean, talking about really struggling. A great player like Patrick Cantlay, 4 over par. He's tied with Phil Mickelson. Phil's 4 over par. Oh, gosh. Who's this guy? Andre Chi.
9 over through 17.
Woo! Have a day. He just made an 8.
He made an 8?
On a par 5.
Okay, that's still not good.
Not an easy place to play, by the way. Phil, by the way, update. Just made another bogey. 5.
I haven't even updated on mine yet.
Yep, just hit mine.
Rory 2 over through 11 is interesting, but it's a long tournament.
It's a long tournament. That thing is going to play way different from wave to wave and day to day.
And with what I'm seeing early, we're looking at a cut line that's going to be over par. Yeah, I'm probably, if I had to forecast it now, cut line of like 2 to 3. So still a lot of guys yet to play.
What's it feel like? So I'm looking at the baseball. You look at the Central right now. What's it feel like if you're the Twins and you've won 10 straight games and you're still 5.5 back because the Tigers are 8? They won 8 of their 10.
Compared to golf, that's like whenever
demoralizing, I'd say.
Whenever you finish around with a couple straight birdies, finish 1 under par, and then you see the guy who's at top leaderboard at 5 under. Like, oh, well.
Justice Cardinals have been hot too. 9 out of 10. I'm going to see them tomorrow night. I'm going to be down in Kansas City watching Royals Cardinals tomorrow night.
My Rockies got swept yet again.
They still have.
And for history.
7 wins. Well done. That's like 2 weeks we've been talking about, and they got 1 win in the last 2 weeks. Oh, man, you guys have a great Thursday. We'll catch you tomorrow on a Fullback Friday.